David Beckham is publicly embracing family again, posting about time with his mum, calling it good for the soul. But at the exact same moment, his son Brooklyn appears to be moving in the opposite direction. Adoption plans with Nicola Peltz, family tribute tattoos silently disappearing, and a future that looks increasingly separate from the Beckham dynasty. On one side, a father reconnecting with his roots. On the other, a son actively redefining what family even means. And this stops being simple celebrity gossip once you see the pattern. This is about legacy, identity, and a very public shift in where loyalty now sits. David Beckham didn't choose a luxury restaurant or a high-profile event. He went back to something simple, pie and mash in Essex with his mum Sandra and sister Joanne, the same kind of place tied to his childhood roots. That detail matters. When public figures lean into nostalgia like this, it usually signals emotional recalibration, not just a casual lunch. His caption, calling the moment good for the soul, reads less like small talk and more like comfort. It suggests grounding, comfort, a deliberate return to family stability at a time when headlines around his son are moving in a very different direction. Because while David is strengthening where he comes from, Brooklyn appears focused on building something separate. That contrast, one holding onto roots, the other redefining them, is where the real tension starts to show. Brooklyn and Nicola aren't just talking about starting a family, they are reportedly discussing adoption in a serious, long-term way. Sources close to them frame it as intentional. They recognize the privilege they grew up with and want at least one child who isn't biologically theirs. That positions the decision less as impulse and more as identity, how they want their future family to look and what values they want attached to it. This also aligns with what they've said before. Both have talked openly about wanting a big family. Nicola comes from a large household. Brooklyn grew up with siblings, so the ambition itself isn't surprising. What's different now is the timing and the wider family context surrounding it. Because if that future unfolds while the Beckham family crack remains unsettled, it creates a complex reality. A potential grandchild could grow up largely outside the Beckham orbit, not necessarily by intention, but as a consequence of distance that already seems to be deepening. That's where this stops being a lifestyle choice and starts looking like a structural shift in the family story. Brooklyn's 6-page statement still defines the atmosphere around this entire situation. He didn't leave the door open for reunion. He made it clear he wanted distance, and he framed that distance as necessary for peace, privacy, and control over his own life. The wording was thoughtful. References to image pressure, manipulation, and media narratives weren't ambiguous complaints. They suggested he felt boxed in by the Beckham brand itself, a global dynasty where personal choices unavoidably become public property. At the same time, his marriage to Nicola was positioned as the opposite of that pressure. Not just a relationship, but a protective space where he feels understood and independent. That reframes the conflict completely. It stops looking like a typical family disagreement and starts reading as something deeper: autonomy versus legacy, individual identity versus a surname that already carries enormous expectations. Brooklyn's body has become a map of shifting loyalties. His tattooed tribute to his father is now covered, and the ones honoring his siblings have reportedly disappeared as well. Meanwhile, tattoos dedicated to Nicola remain fully visible, prominent, and unchanged. It's a visual statement without a single word, a clear signal of where his emotional commitment lies. This isn't just ink, it's a delicate, symbolic erasure. Each covered tattoo marks a boundary, a personal line drawn, and a thoughtful reshaping of his public and private identity. The message is unmistakable. Some ties are being minimized, while others are elevated. If you want to stay on top of every twist in the Beckham family story, make sure you subscribe now. You won't want to miss what happens next. Nicola's sister Brittany added another layer to the story with a cryptic Instagram post. That dream was planted in your heart for a reason. Trust it. It's brief, but the timing is telling. It reads like quiet strengthening, a signal of support for Brooklyn and Nicola from outside their immediate circle. This isn't just a personal message. It shows a parallel family network quietly backing their decisions, strengthening their path while the Beckham side remains in tension. The divide is becoming more than headlines. It's an emotional and symbolic split that's now visible to everyone. David and Victoria have always been vocal about their dream of becoming grandparents. It's been part of their family narrative, something they've openly cherished. Now, with Brooklyn and Nicola seriously considering adoption, that vision becomes uncertain. A future grandchild might grow up with limited contact with the Beckham grandparents, not by hatred, but by choice and circumstance. The emotional stakes are high, The desire for legacy and continuity clashes with Brooklyn and Nicola's pursuit of independence and control over their family life. Public reaction reflects that tension too. Some sympathize with the parents, others side with the couple carving their own path. The story is no longer just private, it's a generational debate played out in public view. This isn't a temporary crack, it's structural. The tattoos covered, the statements made, the adoption plans discussed, each is a thoughtful signal, layered in public. David reconnects with his past, grounding himself in family and tradition, while Brooklyn actively builds a separate future with Nicola. The takeaway isn't just a family feud anymore. This is a generational realignment, played out in full view, where loyalty, legacy, and identity are being quietly but unmistakably reshaped.